Hey guys, as you just saw, I just finished getting my workout in, and my camera was up here, so I went ahead and decided to go ahead and film it. And so now I'm not quite sure what to do with it. I guess maybe I will just do like maybe I'll just go ahead and take you guys through my morning. So sort of like a summer morning day in the life, I guess. So now that I have finished my workout, I'm actually going to go get myself some coffee, take a shower, and get ready. And I will see you guys back in a bit. Hey guys, so I got showered and cleaned up. I haven't done any makeup yet. I probably won't today. I'm having a little bit of hormonal breakouts. Either it's hormones or it's face mask wearing. So I have that going on, so I might just stay makeup free today. But my husband made breakfast for us while I was in the shower, and so he's still currently working from home. His job hasn't gone back to the office yet, so he took a little break to make us something to eat. It was actually more of like a lunch because we ate it at noon. I'm having a really off morning. I woke up late and worked out late. Basically everything has just been going late today. So we had some eggs. I'll show you guys here. My daughter's getting ready to make lunch, but here's my plate. I didn't get a chance to show you guys because my food was already cold, but I had coffee, eggs, and he made toast, but he forgot to make me gluten-free toast, so I gave him the toast, and I just had one of these Nokas to go along with my eggs. And so now I think I'm just going to go ahead and get some laundry folded while my youngest is asleep. So my daughter's here making lunch for her and her little sister. My oldest is outside playing, and the little guy is sleeping. So I will go ahead and just probably put on a YouTube video and get some laundry folded. So I got all those towels folded. I still have some actual clothes that I need to get folded, and I'll do that. But I also went ahead and put my girls' laundry in the washer. My son's is finishing up drying, but it's almost 2 o'clock and I'm feeling a little tired, so I'm gonna make a coffee and get a little afternoon pick-me-up since my day has kind of just been off. I feel pretty off. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. So my husband, sorry, it's dirty. This is the cup that I was using earlier. But my husband went to China a year and a half ago or so. And so this is one of my cups that he brought from China for me. He went to Shenzhen. And I have a few others. I guess over time you'll see them. But this is the one that I'm using today. And as you saw, I used the almond coconut creamer just from HEB. It's not as thick as regular creamer, which is what my husband uses, but whatever, it gets the job done. So I just wanted to show you guys really quick. Today my husband made us eggs, but normally I have been on this chia pudding kick, and so I have a few of these made up in the fridge, and this is normally what I would eat. It's just chia seed pudding. So the chia seeds in coconut milk with mango and cinnamon. It is absolutely delicious and so good. I'm not quite hungry yet, but I'll probably just have this for a snack today. Since I didn't eat it for breakfast, I still want to eat it because I'm just so addicted to them right now. So that will be today's snack. Not that you guys asked, but just thought I would share. So now that I have my cup of coffee, and I actually do still have my husband and my laundry to fold and to hang up, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So now that I have my coffee, I'm actually probably going to sit down and read a little bit. My youngest is still sleeping. My oldest kids are actually having their lunch now, and his is just waiting for him. I do actually have another basket of laundry that I need to fold and get hung up, but I don't really feel like doing that right now. So I'm going to read, especially since my youngest is still sleeping. I'm going to go ahead and get in some reading time. And so I have a couple of books that I wanted to share with you guys that I am reading. And I read books of all sorts. I generally usually like to read nonfiction. And so things that are real. I do like to read some fiction stories, but they usually are more like conspiracy theory kind of books. I'm not really into reading, I don't read romance at all. I don't read love stories or any of that stuff. The most imaginative books that I read are what I'm going to be reading to my kids as read alouds throughout the school year. So when it comes to my own personal reading, I like to read my Bible. I do a lot of Bible studies, and then, like I said, some more conspiracy theory type fiction books, and then lots and lots of nonfiction. So currently right now, I actually I did a Bible study with a group of ladies here in my neighborhood over the last couple months, and since our area has kind of since our area had seen a few spikes in COVID, we actually decided to start meeting via Zoom. And so it just didn't end up ending fully. Like, people kind of just dropped off whenever we switched to Zoom. So I still have one more week left of this Bible study that I haven't done. So I'm going to go ahead at some point, maybe today, I'm not sure, or finishing out this week, I'm not sure. And so I still have that 1 week that I want to finish because I've already gotten so far. And it is this one here. It's the We Saved You a Seat, Finding and Keeping Lasting Friendships. And it's by Lisa Jo Baker. And so I can actually go ahead and read the back of it for you guys so you can have an idea of what this Bible study is about. But it says, pull up a chair. In today's busy world, we're wired to be fine, warding off authenticity for pleasantries, shielding ourselves from misunderstanding or judgment, hiding in the shadows of our busyness to escape intimate friendship with the women God places in our lives. Yes, we do want a seat at the table. We want the authentic relationships, the opportunity to not be fine with people who care about us and cheer for us. But comparison, envy, and even a sense of entitlement often stop us from sitting at the table. Friendship can be hard, making new friends can be even harder, and sometimes maintaining a genuine friendship can be the hardest. The ultimate friend, Jesus, doesn't give up on us. We can see through his life an example of what it means to be a friend, even when it's hard or risky. In this 7-session Bible study, Lisa Jo Baker and friends will Encourage will unpack what it takes to be a friend. We'll learn what Jesus meant when he invited us to love others, and we'll see what it takes to do the hard work of getting along. So join us and take a seat at the table. And if you're new to my channel, my family, we have, I guess not so recent anymore, but we did move here where we live in Texas currently from Colorado. So my husband and I are both from Texas, but we live in an area where neither one of us is actually from. So there was a couple of people surrounded that we do know, but they aren't like in close proximity to us, a few of them. And so making friends has been a little bit challenging, especially half of the time. We've lived here equal parts meeting people and trying to make friends with equal parts of being in quarantine, lockdown, and all the things because of COVID. So next month we will actually have been living in our house for a year. So like I said, it's really hard when half of the time, at this point going into next month, we would have spent more time on quarantine than actually having a chance to meet people. So this Bible study, while not the best in regards to accurate theology and use of the Bible, it was really good for me because I am in this season of making new friends and mourning, loss of friendships due to the move. You don't usually think about losing friends because you've moved to a different place, but it's such a reality because when you don't see people every day, it's easy to just disconnect and friendships fizzle. Sometimes you can have a friendship that will outlast anything, and I do have a few of those friends. But it was just really good being in a new area and going through this Bible study with all new women that I had met and, forming those new friendships. Even though the scriptures could have been used more in context and the theology is a little off, I think it's good if you're in a season of struggling with friendships. So I will finish that off probably this week if I can find the time to do so. I'm going out of town soon, so I definitely want to have it done before the next Bible study starts up. And so the two books that I have been reading and absolutely loving are incredibly different from one another, but both so good. And so the first one is Knowing God, and I'm actually doing, again, a Zoom book club for this book. And so the back of the book is really short of what it says about it. So I'll go ahead and read that really quickly. It says, for over 40 years, J.I. Packer's classic has revealed to over 1 million Christians around the world the wonder, the glory, and the joy of knowing God. Now more than ever, next to Scripture, this could be the most significant book you will read this year or next. And that is so true. I am newer. I would say I'm newer to being strong in my faith. I've always been a Christian, but definitely not strong in it or firmly standing as a Christian, and like definitely loose with scripture and taking scripture out of context. That's where I was. And so over the last year, I've really been learning how to read the Bible and study the Bible in a way to where I can understand it more of what it's actually saying, because it's so important as a woman to be able to go into the Bible on my own and read and understand God's word. And so this book is exactly what it says, knowing God. So what I really love is being able to learn exactly what God is saying in the Bible, and understanding, not necessarily understanding, but I mean, it's hard, like knowing God, being through this book, just knowing and understanding God more, and being able to take the information that I'm reading in this book into my own Bible studies and understanding more of what he's saying even in that, and how he's speaking to me during my time with him. And if you don't know, J.I. Packer, the author of this book, recently passed away. So I will link in the description links for these books, but this one is out of stock. I think it's kind of had, the sales of it have increased, possibly due to his passing. But it is so good. And the women that I'm doing this Bible study with are like women that I look up to so much, because they are so strong in their faith, and they're exactly like what I aspire to be as a Christian woman. And being able to learn from them and J.I. Packer has just been so incredibly good for my soul and for my walk with God and for my relationship with him. And so if you haven't read this book, I highly, highly recommend it. And then lastly, a somewhat controversial nonfiction conspiracy theory type book. And what's really funny about this is, as I'm reading through it, I'm like, it's so crazy how old this book is and how much it resonates with 2020. But it is George Orwell's 1984. And so I know many people read this in high school, sometimes in college. I had actually never read it before. And so for those of you who are like me, who had never read it, maybe never even heard of it, I will go ahead and read the back. It is a little bit longer, so bear with me. It says, "War is peace, freedom is slavery, and Big Brother is always watching." Like, that alone is creepy. So now I'll go ahead and read the rest of this to you. It says, George Orwell's classic novel 1984 is a story of one man's nightmare odyssey through a world ruled by warring states and a power structure that controls not only information, but also individual thought and memory. A minor functionary named Winston Smith joins a covert brotherhood and pursues a forbidden love affair against the cold, gray backdrop of the Republic of Oceania, only to become a hunted enemy of the state and of Big Brother. Now, more than half a century after it was written, Orwell's prophetic, haunting tale of conformity, repression, and identity strikes a disturbing chord. As we follow Winston Smith through his rebellion, imprisonment, torture, and re-education, we witness firsthand the destruction of the truths and freedoms that make us who we are, and the creation of a world where black is white, 2 + 2 = 5, and evil is good. So that, like, just reading that just kind of sends chills down my back, because I mean, today in 2020, like, the 2 + 2 = 5, like, people have literally been saying that. And so this is really good if you like conspiracy, if you're into conspiracy theory, not necessarily a conspiracy theorist, but you're into reading fiction books based on like conspiracy theory. It's really good. And I read all sorts of books. Like I said, I'm not one to read like love stories, romance, or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not into it, but I do love to read a good Christian book, a good nonfiction book. I love reading about war and conspiracy theory, and so things of that sort. So if you have any recommendations for me on things that I should read, please leave them down in the comments below. I am getting ready to put in an order soon for books for myself, so I would love to see your guys' recommendations and hopefully get some of those on my reading list. And so with that said, guys, my little guy should be waking up here pretty soon. I'm going to get to reading one of these. My book club for this one meets on Friday, so I have a couple days to finish out my chapters for that. And like I said, we aren't really meeting for this anymore, so I might get myself, put my little conspiracy theory hat and read this today. I'm not sure, but I do want to get some reading in. So with that being said, I am going to actually go ahead and end this, whatever it is, morning, afternoon in the life, video. And if you guys would like to see more videos like this where I show my workouts, maybe what I eat, what I'm reading, if you guys want to see anything that I've included in this random video more specifically, please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Instagram and send me a message there, or you can email me. I have all of that information in the description. So please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.